Hello there. So it's a late weekend episode, like really late. And truth be told, I haven't looked for an interview in a while. I really appreciate those of you who looked at the episode that Dean helped me with about what I made for breakfast for John. People really seem to respond to Dean. He is very funny. And perhaps I can talk him into doing something next weekend because he's still visiting here and that's awesome. But today I'm just going to tell you 3 little short stories about John at Christmas. So in our family, in the last 30 years or so, 35 years, the really big holiday is Thanksgiving. That's when everybody gets together for the holiday, and I love Thanksgiving. To me, it is the American holiday, even more in a way than the 4th of July. It just goes back to what I think is best about us. There are some very terrible things in our history, but aside from those terrible things, there's this idea of a day of thanks, and I think that's beautiful. But I'm not here to talk about Thanksgiving. I should actually tell Thanksgiving stories, but I'm not. I'm going to tell you 3 little Christmas stories. And the first story is about cooking for John. We had the big gathering at Thanksgiving, and then at Christmas we had some special little nuclear family traditions. One of them was on Christmas Eve you have fish. It's just like on New Year's Day you have black-eyed peas. You know, there's this old tradition that on New Year's Day if you have black-eyed peas you have good luck for the year. Well, for us, the Christmas Eve meal was supposed to be fish. That was the idea. And I'm not sure where it came from. You could probably tell me. But we had fish on Christmas Eve. So that included shellfish. And I'm an adventurous cook. I'm willing to try some things, and my mom and my brothers are often willing to try some things. So one Christmas it was just going to be Mother and John and I, just the 3 of us for Christmas. And so I decided I would make lobster thermidor. I had found it in one of my recipe books, and it's, you know, it sounds fancy because it's fancy. And so I went and I bought 3 lobsters and I made lobster thermidor. And it turns out I like shrimp and I like crab, but I don't like lobster. So John, in a spirit of goodwill, when I said, I don't like this, I sat down and started to eat my lobster thermidor, took 2 bites and said, nope, not for me. And so John ate the second lobster. He ate 2 lobsters that Christmas Eve, which I thought was very good sportsmanship of him. The second Christmas story I want to tell you is, for a while in our family history, the only one of we 4 children that really had a partner was my brother Dean. He and Carrie have been together a long, long time. And so they had their Christmas celebrations, and they tended to live far away from us. So for a while there, it was Mother and John and Brian and me, us 4. And we were all adults. Mother was a widow, and you know, the rest of us were singles, singletons. And one Christmas we got together and we had presents for each other, but we decided it was kind of dumb to do it that way. So we decided what we would do one year was we would draw names, and rather than buying each other small presents, we'd each get one big present. And so when we did this, I had a list of, if I'm this kind of person, which is sort of horrible to admit, but I had this list. If Mom gets my name, she should get me this. If John gets my name, he should get me that. If Brian gets my name, he should get me this. And so at that time, John was very flush with cash, and so I had on the list that if he got my name, I should get a platform rocker. And he didn't even know what a platform rocker is. And some people don't call them platform rockers, they call them gliders. Anyway, they're a fabulous type of rocker. And I had seen them at the Amana colonies when I went to visit in the Midwest. And he got my name. And he's such a good sport. He didn't say, I'm not buying you a stinking platform rocker. It's a fortune. He did. He just bought me a platform rocker, and it's one of the great treasures of my life is that rocker. It's a lovely, lovely chair. Yeah, it's a great chair. Now, for the third Christmas story. In the spirit of this, let's not just buy little presents for each other, let's do something really special. One year, we pooled our money and bought train tickets to San Antonio, Texas. We caught the train in Deming, New Mexico, and rode it to San Antonio, Texas, and spent a couple of days there, and then rode the train back. And it was both a fantastic trip and god-awful. There were so many amazing and terrible things that happened on the trip. One of the great things was one that really bugged John, which I thought was funny. We had breakfast at the hotel restaurant one day, and you know, Brian and I and John, we were all adults. John is older than Brian and I, but he's definitely not as old as Mother. Anyway, the four of us were at the restaurant, and the waitress came to the table, the server came to the table, and she said, "So, shall I give the bill to Dad?" And Brian and I loved it. Yes, give the bill to Dad. Now, John was very good sport. He could take a lot. He did not like that. So he could only do it a little bit. And he said, "Stop it. I don't like that." So, you know. The other thing that was hilarious was on Christmas Day, we went on this tour of these different places. And our tour guide's name was Ivan, which was very unusual. Ivan, who knows an Ivan in San Antonio, Texas? But anyway, as part of the tour, he went to one of the mission churches, which were getting ready to have a Christmas Mass, and we were just walking in on this tour, and he was leading us through the church. And we were like, oh my gosh, we're interrupting this religious service. He led us all the way back into the vestry where the little altar boys were, you know, vesting the priest. It was so strange, so weird. It was a great trip. We didn't sleep at all. We were absolutely exhausted when we got home. It was more difficult to travel by train because we didn't have sleepers than you would have thought. But in the end, I'm really glad we shared that experience. It was great because Brian and John got to spend some real time together and bond. And Mother and I had lots of fun too. And the four of us got to enjoy each other. And that was something, I don't know if we realized it then, but I realize it now, that that's the greatest gift you can give a person, is the opportunity to enjoy time with them. At least for me. You know, other people have things they love, but that spending time together was a real gift. That's it for today. I hope you have a glorious, you know, what little is left of the day, and I hope you see me again, you gorgeous people.